Hello students. Today I am going to explain you chapter 4 metals and non-metals part 2 class 8th science. But before explaining I would like to request that kindly like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel so that you may always get an update of new videos. In this part we have to discuss about the non-metals. Non-metals are the element which are neither malleable nor ductile. They are brittle. Non-metals do not conduct heat and electricity. Some of the examples of non-metals are carbon, sulfur, phosphorus, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, helium, neon, argon, krypton and xenon. Of the 92 naturally occurring elements, 22 elements are nonmetals. Out of these, 10 nonmetals are solid and one nonmetal, bromine, is a liquid, whereas the remaining 11 nonmetals are gases. Some of the nonmetals we have to discuss here, like hydrogen. Hydrogen is the lightest element and make about 75% of all the matter in the universe. Hydrogen is found in sun and is important constituent of all living things. Like nitrogen is a 78% in atmosphere. It is essential for life on earth and it is a component of all proteins. All the living things are made up of proteins and also present in fertilizer. Under natural or normal conditions, nitrogen is a colorless, odorless and tasteless. The next one is a oxygen. About 21% oxygen is found in the atmosphere. That is the third most abundant element in the atmosphere. Animals and plants use oxygen for respiration. That is one of the important physiological process, and that is also colorless, odorless and tasteless. Carbon, that carbon is denoted by C. It occurs in all living organism. That is central atom of the amino acid. C is found in diamonds and graphite. Always ready to bond. That is a basic building of the, that's building block of life, basic building block of life. And the sulfur is also non-metallic element. Sulfur is also present in all living things, and at room temperature and pressure sulfur is a yellow solid. It is used in the manufacture of sulphuric acid. That is one of the important acid. Now we have to discuss about the physical properties of the non-metals. Non-metals are not malleable and no and they are also, non-metals are brittle. This means non-metals cannot be beaten into thin sheets with a hammer. Non-metals break into small pieces when hammered. Like, the property due to which non-metals break on hammering is called brittleness. Like carbon pencil, pencil of lead is made up of carbon, and beat if a hammer, it will break into the pieces. So this is one of the physical property of the non-metal. The second one physical property is ductility. Non-metals are not ductile. This means, what is ductility? This means that non-metals cannot be drawn into wires. They are easily snapped on stretching. The third one property is a conductivity. What about the conductivity? Non-metals are poor conductor of heat and electricity. That it means not allow to heat and electricity to pass through them. A form of carbon element, diamond. Diamond is a non-metal which is a good conductor of heat, is one of the exception. And another form of carbon element, graphite, is a non-metal which is a good conductor of electricity. Being a good conductor of electricity, graphite is used for making electrodes in the dry cells. You have seen black color electrodes are there. The fourth one characteristic physical property, that is not lustrous. Non-metals are not lustrous, they are dull. This means non-metals are not shiny, they are dull in appearance. But one exception is also here, that is iodine is a non-metal having luster. Iodine has a shining surface like that of metals. The another physical property is about the strength. Non-metals are not strong, they have low tensile strength. This means that non-metal cannot hold large weight, they can easily snapped. And the next one characteristic is about the sonorousness. Sonorousness, what is about sonorousness? This means that solid non-metals do not make a ringing sound when we strike them. And about the hardness, if we have to discuss about the non-metal, most of the solid non-metals are quite soft. This means that most of the solid non-metals can be cut easily. For example, sulfur and phosphorus are soft non-metals which can be easily cut into pieces with a knife. And only one non-metal, diamond, is very hard. In fact, diamond is the hardest natural substance known. Now we have to discuss about the chemical properties of non-metals. Like first we have to discuss with the reaction with oxygen. Non-metals react with oxygen to form non-metal oxides. Like if non-metal react with oxygen, it forms acidic oxide, that is a non-metal oxide. The sulfur is react with oxygen to form sulfur oxide, that is a oxide. Sulfur bonds in here, it combines with the oxygen to form sulfur oxide. This is a acidic oxide. And the another one characteristic is a reaction with water. So non-metals do not react with water. Sulfur is a non-metal, sulfur does not react with water. In fact, some of the reactive non-metals are kept under water to protect them from the action of air. Like phosphorus is a very reactive non-metal, and due to its high reactivity, phosphorus is stored in a bottle containing water. Reaction with acid. The non-metals reaction with the acid, that basically non-metals do not react with dilute acid to form salt and hydrogen gas. For example, if we take some sulfur powder or charcoal powder in a test tube and add dilute hydrochloric acid, then no reaction takes place even on heating. So they do not react with dilute acids. Next property is about that uses of non-metals. What are the uses of non-metals? Most of the important non-metals like oxygen, nitrogen, chlorine, iodine, sulfur, phosphorus and carbon, so many uses. Like oxygen is a non-metal which is used by plants and animals including human being for breathing, and oxygen is used in the process of respiration, that is one of the important physiological process. Sulfur and phosphorus are the non-metal which are used in fireworks, crackers, and sulfur is the non-metal which is used in the vulcanization of rubber, that is used in making of tire, because vulcanization of rubber is the hardening of the rubber. So that sulfur is a very important non-metal which is used in the hardening of rubber. Nitrogen is a non-metal which is used in making fertilizer to enhance growth of plant. Nitrogen is one of the important constituent of the soil also, and it is most of the leguminous plant, they convert the atmospheric nitrogen into nitrates. So that chlorine is a non-metal which is used in water purification process. And like this, so many non-metals like phosphorus is used in the fireworks and matchbox making of making and the fireworks and industries. So that uses of carbon is one of the most important non-metal, that is important constituent of the all living things present on this earth. Carbon is a central atom of amino acids, and that forms the proteins, and all the living things present on this earth are made up of proteins, and proteins, the basic unit of protein is amino acid, and carbon is the central atom of the amino acid. And carbon is also found in the form of diamond, is one of the hardest substance that is making jewelry and cutting tools, used in the cutting tools. And charcoal is used to filter, to purify air and water. So that these are the non-metals. And one of the non-metal like iodine, which is used to make purple colored solution called tincture iodine, which is applied on cuts and wounds as an antiseptic. So these are the uses of the non-metals. And now we have to discuss about the uses of hydrogen. Hydrogen is used for the manufacture of ammonia gas, and hydrogen is used in the extraction of metals. And hydrogen is one of the most abundant in the atmosphere and is important constituent of the all living things also. So that now we have to discuss about the some question. Name a non-metal which is very hard. Name a non-metal which is a good conductor of electricity. Name two non-metals used in fireworks. State 5 characteristics of non-metals and uses of non-metals. These are the questions you have to studied at your home, and you have to done in your copy also. This is all about the non-metals. Thank you, students.